Plenary Session 9, I invite Dr. Deepti Shukla Ma'am, the chairperson for this session. Ma'am is a PhD Nursing, PDFP, ERU, USA and ERC. Ma'am is also a Diamond Fellow, Eudoxia Research Center, USA. Ma'am has done PG Diploma in Forensic Science and Forensic Photography along with PG Diploma in Forensic Medicine and Human Identification. Ma'am has completed PG Diploma in Forensic Chemistry and Forensic Toxicology along with PG Diploma in Forensic Fingerprint Identification. Ma'am has also completed PG Diploma in Forensic Chemistry and Forensic Toxicology. Ma'am is also currently serving as a Vice President, TNAI UP branch and General Secretary, Indo-Pacific Academy of Forensic Nursing Science, India. Ma'am has worked as an assessor at NQAS External Assessor, NEBH External Assessor. Talking about the achievement, ma'am received First Innovator Award for Industrial Design as developed KT Vaginal Reflector and got registered in the Patent Cell of India 2019. Ma'am received Second Innovator Award for Industrial Design as developed Postpartum Abdominal Binder and got registered in the Patent Cell of India 2020. Ma'am received Third Innovator Award for Industrial Design as developed Cervical Scrape Pin and got registered in Patent Cell of India 2022. Ma'am registered for the Fourth Innovator Award for Industrial Design, Multi-Layered Sanitary Napkin and got registered in the Patent Cell of India 2022. Ma'am received Fifth Innovator Award for Industrial Design as developed Orofacial Cleft Dipper and got registered in the Patent Cell of India 2023. Ma'am registered for the Sixth Innovation Vaginal Medication Delivery Device and got registered in the Patent Cell of India 2023. Ma'am registered Seventh Innovation DS Pulse OX Device and got registered in Patent Cell of India 2023. Ma'am registered for the Eighth Innovation Vaginal Atrophy Screening Brush and got registered in the Patent Cell of India 2024. Ma'am has 6 registered copyrights to her name, which includes EBT Professional Conflict and Reconcile Model 2021, Hierarchy Model of Nurses Assumptions and Prediction Theory 2021, PD Nurses Quality Control Model of the Healthcare System 2020, Quality-Based Patient Expectations and Satisfaction Model 2019, Documentation Sheet for a Vulnerable Group 2024. Ma'am has also got Nurse Inventor Award at the INFOC Indonesia. Ma'am has published 3 books along with 34 publications, including 5 scripts indexed. Ma'am has also got Samarpan Award Year 22, 23 and 24. Ma'am is being a research guide, evaluator and examiner in many of the universities, along with a resource person in national, international webinar and conferences organized by many national and international conferences, workshops, seminars, etc. Ma'am is having a Trained Nurses Association of India, Society of Midwives India, Nursing Research Society of India, Indo-Pacific Academy of Forensic Nursing Science, Association of Nurses Executive of India, PNRM-FI India. I invite you, ma'am. Now I invite our esteemed speaker, Mrs. Priscilla Fernandez, ma'am, to join us on the stage. I now request Mrs. Anamika Chaurasia, ma'am, Vice Principal, Samarpan Institute of Nursing, to felicitate both of our chairperson and speaker with a live plant as a token of appreciation. Thank you, dear ma'am. Now I request our chairperson. Now I request our chairperson to introduce our esteemed speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
कैसा लग रहा है आप लोगों को कॉन्फ्रेंस में? फील गुड? अच्छा लग रहा है? क्लासेस इंटरेक्टिव हो रही है? वी रियली फील सॉरी, यस्टरडे हमारा थोड़ा हचपच रहा, बट आई होप ऑल द क्लासेस आर एक्सीलेंट, इजंट इट? आप लोगों ने अच्छे से लर्न किया? यस मैम, तो बहुत स्लो आ रहे हैं. सो वी आर स्टार्टिंग विथ टुडेज on-board class by Miss Priscilla Fernandez, madam. She is a director of nursing, Medanta, Lucknow. She is not a director of nursing only from the Medanta, Lucknow. I know her. She is my good friend. She started Medanta, Gurgaon, Medanta. More in Mumbai also you work. so many things about the Medanta, and I can say she is a born mother of the Medanta, we can say it. So Ms. Fernandez is the Director of Nursing at Medanta, Lucknow, bringing with her 30 years of great experience of the progressive nursing expertise and a clear vision for the future of healthcare. Ma'am has held leadership positions in prominent corporate and private hospitals across India and abroad. An alumna of Mumbai University, she graduated from Bhagwati Hospital, Mumbai, and further pursued her master's in hospital management. Her extensive career includes many things such as corporate nursing head at Workhard Hospital, Mumbai, senior nursing superintendent at Medanta, the MedCity, Gurgaon, general manager nursing at Care Hospital, Hyderabad, and manager of nursing services at Kokila Ban Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital, Mumbai. A great hands for you, ma'am. With a deep interest in hospital projects, commencing hospitals and nursing administration training and quality, ma'am continues to be a driving force in shaping and enhancing the nursing standard in the healthcare industry. So with the great and love heart, with the full of praise, we are welcoming you in the Samarpan group. Thank you so much for joining us as a speaker today.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I know that all are going to be indulged with how the clinical nurse are presenting ourselves. Just give a big hand for madam.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay. First of all, thank you, Principal Ma'am, Ma'am Dipti Shukla, calling me here for an international conference. It's my pleasure to be here. And thank you all. And we are going to have an interactive session. I want every student, faculty present here to be interactive, and just see now. I don't know about the what's going on last one day, but I hope that a lot of information has been given to you. And this class also, this lecture is going to also give you a lot of insight today. So our topic is patient advocacy in digital age, nurses as a champion, patient-centered health. I just wanted to give a small brief, whatever you have seen, what madam has described about me. I think so in 1991, I was just like you, student, sitting in Bhagwati Hospital with the cap. Okay. So there is nothing that directors are born, leaders are born, they are also given the opportunities, and lot of hard work and clinical work is also important. When we are in the hospital, we have seen that students nowadays, I'm not against the faculty, but yes, everybody wants to go for teaching after BSc. So who will work in the hospital? So hospital clinical also is very important, and you will not believe there are so many positions available in the clinical side nowadays, and there are a lot of research, digitalization is also happening in the hospital setup. So what we will do is, we will see that why digitalization is important. What is the digitalization age in the hospital currently, as Medanta is also, we are going completely on digitalization. So we will be see some of the forms and formats what we use as a digitalized age, and then we'll see how nurse can advocate the patient. To get through this process, they must know that what is digitalization is happening and how it is going to benefit to the patient. So that is how today's lecture will be there. So I just wanted to ask one or two questions, if you can answer, ki why digitalization important nowadays, why this topic has taken for this session. Anybody can explain? Anything? Students? Why we are talking about the digitalization age in hospital? Anybody? Yes? Very good. Anybody else want to add? Anybody from backside? Why madam has choose this topic? There was some reason, right? So we will see one by one. So I would like to tell you all that clinical practice in the hospital scenario, which we have seen last 20 to 30 years when I was practicing, there was not even though computer was there. Nothing. We used to just come, give MP clocks, DECA and gentamicin. That's it, and 1 PCM tablet to the patients, and go home and write that doctor chart. We have to just stick it. That was the limited thing what nurse supposed to do, and give food to the patient, and also sponge bath and some of the nursing work. That's it. We are not supposed to touch, even though there was no computer system except calling system was there in the hospital. So there is one room was there, just like how they are practicing. One room was there where one computer, 5 computers were there in the hospital with the finance and some of the people in the HR. Otherwise, there was no hospital has the computerized system. It was not necessary that time, right? But within 20 years of time, we are growing hugely in digitalization. So, who is the beneficiary in the digitalization in the hospital? First thing is who? Patient, right? So, I am very happy, madam, that you choose this topic for the patient advocacy. How can we do the advocacy to the patient? So, as I have discussed that it is important role what we are going to pay, because healthcare is transformation is there. In healthcare now we are going to reach in complete digitalization. There are a lot of hospitals are typing for complete digitalization of the hospital practice, paperless, and the hospital backbone is nurses. So, we play a important role in digitalization of the hospital. Whenever there is a digitalization concept comes, first thing to refuse is nurse. कि ये नहीं होगा, हमें ऐसे ही चाहिए. We want this kind of form. We will not do it. We want only nurses notes to write, right? So first who will be refusing that to do is the nursing, because we are not having that kind of mentality to change that yes, digitalization will help nursing also. It is not only going to help patient, it is not going to help only hospital, it is going to help us, because our time, if you work in hospital, your time clock starts and you will not have time. You have 6 hours, but you require 12 hours to complete the task. So that is how it is very important, and we play as a frontier very, very important role. So, if you see the clinical practice, if you are working there, main important that why advocacy is important in digitalization is, anybody know that whenever we wanted to go to the hospital, what patients does, what we do? Anybody? We call. या नेबरहुड में किसी का ऑपरेशन हो गया तो we call and say कि आप हॉस्पिटल में गए थे क्या, if any doctor is good there or anybody is there who can guide them, right? That is how the questions, na? So there is lack of knowledge. Patients are not knowing that what is the digitalization is available in the hospital. How can I contact the hospital? How can I get information to the hospital? So that is how lack of knowledge about digitalization is there. Lot of ignorance. There are a lot of apps available, no? But we are very, we are working with the sick people. So whoever is sick, they will be not looking into the lot of apps. They'll not go to the system. If there is a stomach pain or there is a CABG needs to be happened, they'll just rush to the hospital, or they'll go and whatever is possible, they'll do it. So there is lot of ignorance is also there. There is lot of knowledge lacking is there. Limited hospital exposure. If you have digitalization and if you teach the patient on digitalization of advocacy, definitely they don't need to come here. There are a lot of follow-ups, there are a lot of visits can happen with digitalization online. So there is a infection control practices will be strengthened in the India or abroad, and also reducing the expenses, because if you have to visit from Kanpur to Medanta, there is an expense, right? Lot of expenses are also built up for that. And personalized health insight is always there, and guidance of digitalization will definitely help the patient. This is why we are discussing today. So let's see what is the innovation is available in the hospital. So these are the scenario which I have just put up, 6-7 scenarios, but there are a lot more than that what is available. We will be discussing that what digitalization we have done and what are the scenarios currently available for the patient as a digital application. So everybody know there is a mobile health, yes? Mobile health is prominent nowadays. On mobile health there are a lot of applications which we can use. For example, their fitness they can track, their nutrition apps are there, they can digitalize their medication, so that is how mobile health is there. There is a digital therapeutic health, there are a lot of applications and clinical applications are there where they can see their own interventions. The software is clinically updated and they will throw you the interventions through the therapeutic app. Health information on their own which is called EMR. We will go in detail once we go through the slide. And device, wearable devices are available. There is lot of electrophysiological devices are available, even though ECG, electrolytes and EMG also is available on the devices. Sensors, there are a lot of sensors which we put to the patients. They can monitor their own. So whenever they are in the hospital, we'll place the sensors and that with that device they can go home, they can monitor their health. Personalized health, patient outcomes, analytic decisions are available, telemedicines. Nowadays, every day I think so we do more than 100 consultation by from the remote area to the hospital by a super specialty consultant, and even though it is beneficial to the patient because the consultation charges are almost 50% when you do the telecommunication through audio or video. So if the consultation fee is 1200, we charge 600 rupees for a super specialty doctor to discuss their consultation with the patient. So there are a lot of benefit of remote control people about the telehealth. So now discuss that what are the applications are available, what is the digitalization available in the hospital. There are almost 90 to 95% Medanta hospital is digitalized and we are aiming by end of this year complete digitalization of the hospital. Okay. So this is how the EHS look like. Once you start working in the hospital, you must know first that what is the digitalization available in the hospital. You will be trained on that and then we have to use this every day, shift wise, whatever you do, it is completely on digitalization. So this is how the EHIS system, most of the hospital has health information system which we primarily use for when the patient has come for the OPD or IPD. So the process starts from there, that is called hospital health information. Next is the EMR, electronic medical records. So whenever they punch in all the investigation, all the medical records, all the reports are uploaded on EMR, electronic medical record, and that can be accessed by the patient also. This is how patient portal look like, where they can go for scheduling their appointments. Also they can access the information about the hospital. All these informations are available on the patient portal. This is the access for the patient itself. They can upload their forms, they can upload their health, they can upload their vitals, they can upload their sugar level. So this is the patient portal which is available and that is accessible to the doctors. So this is how the patient portal works, and all the information, everything is there. They can pay online, they can change their medication, they can show to the doctor, they can have changes in their follow-ups treatment, they can also access their reports. So this is the patient portal which is very user friendly and which we use for the patient. This is how our portal look like. And telemedicine and telehealth platform, this is also we use for the patient consultation. Also we will go through that, we have more advanced health technology also in that. So if you see the EMR, electronic medical record, it looks like this. So once the nurses comes on duty, if the patient is there, you have to put your vitals. Vital screen will appear. You can put there. This is how the medication chart look like. This is the patient complete information, and there are graphs also available if you wanted to see that how their potassium is working, how their sodium is working. So there are a lot of graphs will be appearing, and you can see these graphs appears. This is very important to see as a nurse, as a doctor, as a practitioner, as a patient, to see and monitor their levels of the reports. There is one more form is available which is called MUSE, Modified Early Warning Signs. So whenever there is a patient in the hospital, we have to monitor their vitals, right? You have to go through chart if you are not digitalized. But here in the system itself it is built up. Once you put your parameters, the system will throw you that your patient is sick, or your patient is on moderate level, or your patient is supposed to be shifted. As per this MUSE, we have configured the RRT system and code blue system in the place. So once you as a nurse, when we put this parameters in the system every 4 hourly, automatically there are scoring system. The system will pick up if the score is below some level, below 4 or 5, then patient is normal. If it is more than 5, patient system will say RRT should be announced, and if it above 7, automatic the code blue can be announced. So these parameters will give you the alert also. No need to think of anything that should I alarm it RRT, that rapid response team, when the patient is sick. Automatically you will get the trigger that you should announce the RRT. And there is a T scoring, therapeutic intervention scoring is built up. This is also almost 60 to 65 parameters are there. It is inbuilt system. So once you put that score, automatic they will throw you the alarms for the system. And this T scoring will be also giving you the alarms for how you will assign the patients. So there is a manager desk available. On that, automatically once the patient therapeutic index is done, according to that the patient will be lined up for the nurse in charge to assign the patient accordingly, if it is green, if it is yellow, if it is red. So automatic once before once the nurse has punched in, she know that nurse, the computer will give the assignment. Okay, so according to the therapeutic index only, according to the seniority of the nurse, the assignment will be happening. That is called nurse duty roster online. So once you punch in, you will get your patient on board, that which patients are assigned for you. So this is how the integrated system from the clinical to the duty roster has been assigned. So this score has come from your backend. All the credential and privileges of the nurses, what we have put up as a backup, and the system will give you that which nurse, which patient supposed to be assigned. This is how the digital technology for medication administration is used. This is called BCMA. So all the medication comes to the hospital, it is barcoded, and once that is barcoded and the indent comes, doctor puts the prescription, automatic it goes to the pharmacy, and there is a scanners on the floor and the cows on the floor. So once the medicine you received, you have to see that it is barcoded, and before you give the medication, there is a lot of scanning happen, 2-3 checks are happen. So medication error will be preventable once you have this system in place. So it is a complete online system for the medication administration. I think so. This is our chief responsibility, right? Yes or no? Yes, yeah. So that is how this process will help the nurse to get the things on time, also administer the right patient, right drug, and also there is a tab for the in charges that are you have given the medication on time or no. There is a slot of 1 hour before and after only you can give, otherwise your system will be locked and then you have to ask your manager to open the screen, then only you can give. So there is a total summarization of the medication system. This is how packs look like. Most of the hospitals this application is available. So this is digital mobile app for X-ray. There is one more advanced technology which is not there in anywhere in UP today, which is eICU. That means today we in the hospital we have eICU look like that. So there are 10 hospitals which are on remote ICUs. So 10 to 12 ICUs are on remote, which our team 24/7 from the digital app, they continuously monitor the periphery ICUs. And there is a nurse and doctor 24/7 who guide them, their patients, what they are doing. If there is any intervention needs to be done, there will be guidance provided from here. This is a screen of the hospital ICU outside Medanta. So that is how remotely we are monitoring the ICUs of UP, even though in Mumbai, Thane. So there are a lot of, all over India we monitor ICUs, that is called eICU on app. So this is also an advanced technology. So if you wanted to digitalize yourself, and also you have to have a knowledge when you advocate the patients, right? Our topic is how you are going to advocate the patient in digital world. So what is the requirement? Anybody? What you supposed to have if you have to advocate the patient? You must be knowledgeable, na? Yes or no? Yes. So first thing is enhancing the knowledge. Okay. So this is how. First thing, important thing is you have to enhance your knowledge about the digital tool. Everybody go through your phone is smartphone now. So we know everything about Instagram, then Facebook, everything, but we should know also what are digital apps available in the hospital, how they are applicable, and how patient is going to benefit out of it. So if nurses is not knowledgeable, then there is no use, because we are there with the patient all the time. So we must be having knowledge of digital tool which is available. So my supervisors are here, and always I tell them that first we should know, then only you can teach the nurses. Senior should know first, and then they will teach the junior. So that is how digital tool knowledge is important. There are lot of work. Before, when we were working, I was not even knowing who is there in the IT field and who is available in database. Before, we used to say data room. So we were not able to interact with them because there was no need. But nowadays you will see the nurses are going through IT desk, they will be meeting them. There are a lot of interaction with the IT guys. That is because of there are data integration, software integration with the IT. You need to collaborate with them. You need to understand, then only you can modify the forms. So that is how the requirement is, that we must collaborate. Create the right content is important. You know more about the patient. We are clinical people, they are not clinical people. So we must give information to the IT people that how this form should look like, and that is readable, that is understandable to us also, to the patient also. Because there are a lot of patient health information which is given to the patient is also on electronic record. System friendly, the user should know how to utilize that system, and training and education. So what is the role now? As a champion, we say we are backbone, we are champion, we are advocates. So how that digitalization transform to the patient? There are certain things as a nurse we can advocate to them. Let's see one by one. To enhance the digital literacy among the patients, we should be an educator, right? We are educated anyway to the patients. So we must educate the patient when the patient is with you, when you have night shifts, morning shifts, evening shifts, whenever you get time, open the app. We have EMR apps and all. We must show to the patient that these are the things available with us. You can go through. If there is any difficulty you are getting, you must contact nurse, and we can also contact the administrator for the same. So medical record, scheduling appointments, use of telehealth, step by step guiding to the patient. Some of the patient doesn't understand, not literate also. So lot of flashcards and videos are also we have made that patient should understand. So we run false video, we run orientation video to the patients. So there are lot of videos are also created to educate the patients. Okay. Reduce incomplete information and digital resources. So nurses also ensures that tool is complete, up to date, patient specific, and for example it is vital tool. Vital tool should also have pain. So that is how, if the information is complete, it is easy for you people and also to the patient. When they see their graph, they know everything is there which is understandable and properly you can explain to the patient. Filtration is also very important. What happens, you have seen in the slide that once the patient comes to the hospital, they are loaded with all investigations. I think so. Everything what we supposed to do, we are doing it, right? So there are LFT report, EMG reports. There are a lot of reports of 5 times they will check the HB if the HB is low. They'll check every 2 hours sodium if it is required. They will check every time sugar monitoring is there. So there is a filtration available. So you have seen in the graph that patient can choose that what they wanted to monitor. That filtration level is also available, but you must advocate and teach to the patient that how can you make your own graph or blood report which is required for you. Maybe some patients require to monitor only sodium. Some patient has to monitor HB. Some patient needs to monitor sugar. Some patient needs to monitor their vitals. So everything can be filterable. Every graph can be made. So we as an advocate, as a nurse, we must train the patient. How can you access this information? How can your graphs are be monitored when you even go home? Then there are a lot of outdated digital tools are available. So we need to filter what is outdated, because some of the patients, so many patients, even every patient asks, हमें film चाहिए, we want films. So we need to tell them that this pack system is available on our server. Whatever happens, the server is available anytime you want your films. It is available in the hospital. We can transfer from one hospital to another hospital if they have the pack system there. So there is lot of integrations are available. No need to carry so many films over there. It is the cost plus it is a paper. It is the environmental control. Wastage of the films is it should be avoidable. So that is how we must educate the patient. Whenever they want some CD, there should be smooth transaction with the IT people. Whatever transfer data needs to be done. So lot of cath lab procedure and OT procedure needs to be documented. So automatic we are recording the OT procedure, we are recording the cath lab procedure. We give them CDs also. But we ensure that we must teach and advocate the patient that even though you don't have, we have all the data for you. So you no need to worry. You are coming anyway to our hospital for follow-up. And even though you go somewhere, just call us. We will be providing the information whenever it is required. Build patient trust. So many patients are saying you are already digitalized, everything is on your system, so my data is leaked. So we must ensure and teach the patient that without your consent, we will not able to show your data to anybody else. So there is a concern of the patient it's important. Even though we are recording videos of the patient, if we take photographs of the patient, everything requires the patient consent. Without their consent, hospital will not do anything. So that kind of trust we need to build. We are with the patients all the time. So if we build the confidence, it will help the hospital also and patient also. Customization of their charts, we can teach the patient, you can create your diet charts, they can create your sugar charts, vital charts, it is available in bilingual also on the system. So that is how we must advocate to the patient, we must teach, we must train, we are educators, we are trainers, we are advocates, we are everything for the patient, and we are backbone of the hospital also. So we have to make sure that this kind of role what we play, it is very important that we must enhance patient education. So definitely when we are in the digital era, there are a lot of benefits. I told you that first benefit is for you also, because we save a lot of time. We think that no, on digital platform we may not save time. Instead of writing care plan by hand, everything is available on one click. You don't need to think so much. Everything is on the system, it will automatically reflect the care plan, automatically your tools will be digitalized, automatically patient graphs will be digitalized, automatically you are getting vital record, automatically you are getting the scoring card, Muse and Teas. So there are a lot of benefit to the nurses, there are a lot of benefits to the patient and also to the organization. So definitely if you are on the system where digitalization is there, patient no need to carry so many baggages with him. They are definitely satisfied with what you do it in the hospital. There is a transparency in personalized healthcare. It is logged in with their UHID only, and then only you can see the patient. We have separate floor-wise access. There are a lot of access are given to the different people. The users are different for some of the data. The users are different for the rights. So lot of digitalization is happening on that. It's convenience, accessible from the remote area, they can access their health. Also improved literacy, definitely if they know what is available, the patient will be literate on the same. And empowerment and self-management they can do. If we teach the patient properly, they can do so many things their own. They can monitor their vital tools, they can monitor their health, they can even do text to the doctor that today my sugar is this, what should I do? So that much data is available, digitalization is available. They no need to even though call the doctors. They can even talk to the doctors online, they can get the feedback, they can modify their medications online, they can send their sugar chart to the doctors. That is how we also practice. The patients are sending their graphs to the doctors and they will get the reply. So no need to go every time for follow-up, wasting the time, wasting the money, and also when there is a patient, it is always an infection. So infection control will be also minimized and then patient will be getting good health, because patient should rest, patient should not work when they are sick. So automatically if everything is on their plate at home, and when they are in the hospital, if we train them, definitely they will get the rest also. So once they are rest enough and ensure enough, I think so they will get better, faster. There are some of, after when we teach to the patient, some of the hospital data has been picked up, and we have seen that almost 97% patient use digital tool for online scheduling. It is very easy. So they use for scheduling. 85% patient use virtual care for communication, that is tele consultation, because that is also if the patient is sitting in the Sultanpur or some of the remote area, for them it is very easy from the Medanta to get the access of the super speciality. So mainly teleconsultations are happening. 85% people are using this. 92% patients are using digital tool for online payments. This is also one of the things they use, and 94 patients are using for price difference. What Medanta price and what is Apollo's price and what is Max price. So they compare the prices online. But this is not only the digitalization is available for them. That is what I just wanted to focus on, that it is beyond this. It is not only this. But maximum patients are only using digital age only for these four main concern. So we have to go beyond that. We have to train when patient comes to the OPD. When patient comes to the IPD, almost they are staying there for 3 or 5 days in the hospital. So first day they are sick, they are operated, but next day or discharge day, it's not required. You can talk to the patient, you can show, sir, this kind of EMR is available, this is what we have. You can give pamphlets to the patient, you take this will help you. There is a doctor specific pamphlets are also there. Every doctor practices separately. So there are certain doctors that are totally on digitalization. So you can tell them, sir, your doctor is totally on digitalization, you get benefit out of it. Okay. So there are certain doctors in our hospital also, they get complete information of the patient on digital platform. So that is how when their patients are with us and when we discharge the patient, there is an education should be given to the patient on digital age, because this is how future is also on digital. Okay, thank you. I hope that you understood something out of it, and you will take this forward when you start practicing in your hospital or whenever you are teaching as a faculty to the student. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me opportunity. Thank you. So, any questions?
Do we have any questions from the audience? Any questions, anyone? No questions? No questions, ma'am.
Madam spoke about the digital health and how nurses are advocating related with the digitalization in the healthcare industry. So she's focused very well about the how you can provide a holistic care, how you can building trust and communication with the patients, your clients. We are not saying patient now in this way, we are saying clients, yes. So empowerment through the information and the how you can give the personalized care with the help of digitalization. Privacy and security is very much important, and that must be aware from for everywhere in the sites. And equity for the care, transparency with the digital tools, and patients engagement along with the digitalization. You must take the informed consent related all the tools which are used for the digitalized platforms, user friendly. She focused on very much on that, and patient centered research. And I think you are also engaged with so many research projects along with this. And she also addressed so many things you can minimize, such as barriers, and you can take some technologies, access, literacy points, internal cultures, so many things related with the digitalization. So last one day, yesterday also we talked about AI, today we talked about the digital platform. So why madam is here? This is a college, and this conference is all related with the innovation, research and digital health. So we talked about the research yesterday. Today we are talking about the digital health and the innovation. After the lunch we have a class for the innovation also. So why madam is this? He is a director in nursing. There are so many students are sitting from the nursing criteria, faculties are also sitting, and the working people in the different hospitals, they are here. You must know what are the importance of the clinical nurses. What we are facing when our students are leaving from the college, within 2 or 3 months they are again visiting to us and asking for the job in the college. we tried to have our clinical nurses on the floor to just know what are the new things are available in the market of healthcare sectors. Mr. Srikanthan also visited and explained very well about that. The digitalization in the healthcare industry is growing like a loss. So आप लोग means you can join your hand in the clinical side also, and you can boom in the nursing a lot. So madam told how many things she is doing on the platform of digital health in the Medanta, and not only Medanta or the corporate hospital, they are joining together. They all are friends, they are all our brother and sisters doing लगभग सब same platform पे काम कर रहे हैं. So my request is for the students sitting in the room, only for the students, that you please try to have your look towards the clinical sectors also. There are so much for you to complete it. Not you don't need to run behind the colleges and being a teachers. Teacher अच्छा है बनना है, but everyone is going behind the teaching. Then who will be in the clinical side? Who is going to give the patient care? And why these tools are coming to the market when there is no one to be play with that tools? So try to think that yes, we are nurses. कल मैम ने बोला ना, क्या बोला? I proud to be a nurse. So nurse क्या है? कल उन्होंने भी explain किया, means कन्नन मैम ने भी, she said that when we are in the clinic, we are very close to the patient. When we are the college, we are very away from the patients. So we are born nurses. I also do have some 10 years of experience in clinical side. So don't run behind every time for the colleges. Just go and see and visit to the hospitals. That there is so much to do in the form of the care, in the form of the research, in the form of the innovation, in the form of the other medications, things you can perform in the clinic, or you can do much more rather than having as a theoretical side. So I am in the college side, but I just really like to promote to be the part of the clinical healthcare sectors. So thank you so much, Priscilla ma'am, being the part of such a fantastic conference is going on, that is international or fifth conference, that is global summit. और आपने हमारे बच्चों को क्लिनिक में कैसे कैसे आप परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, बाकायदा आपने बढ़िया सा फॉर्मेट बना के, सो इट वाज वेल डिजाइंड, वेरी इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, वेल इंफॉर्मेटिव लेक्चर आपने दिया. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग द पार्ट. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Mrs. Anamika Chaurasia, ma'am, to felicitate both our chairperson and speaker of this session. Kindly come on the stage, ma'am.